along. You have no need to loiter around here.
Alright, so I did a somewhat of a 180. Decided that instead of doing the side missions that we'd finish Aaron's quest trail or quest mission trail first. Then we'll finish the excuse me, the side missions off. And then we'll dive headfirst into Olin's missions. So and I must admit I actually looked up because obviously you need the 3 power cells for the access to the ancient armor or the set of armor. Now, apparently you can obtain them through quest missions, main missions. So I know what they're called. I know what they're, well, obviously most of you know what they're called, but and I've just got them more or less memorized. I know basically what the mission, where the mission is, so I know to keep a lookout for it. So yeah. Am I going the right? No, I'm not.
We all have our place in the order of things.
That's it. You all stand to attention. Good on you, soldiers.
Take over my brother's ship, sure as the sun's
Huh? Well, Marad?
Greetings, Aloy. I am known as Blameless Marad. Please come with me. You're needed for an important consultation.
What do you mean? Where's Erend?
He's inside, attending the Sun King, where we should be without further delay. Follow me, please.
All of these people are here to see the Sun King.
Yes, and each has come to ask a favor of him. Unpleasant, but that's politics. The Sun King is eager to meet you.
Oh, okay.
Machine tamer with a curious eye for detail. It's all very intriguing.
I'm sure it
I'm
would
not
be.
here to intrigue you.
Too late.
First the Oseram get special treatment, and now Outlanders from the Savage
We're being summoned by the Sun King. What do you want me to do?
Outlander woman? Unacceptable.
Oh, please.
I've been here for 2 hours, and this Nora goes to the front of the line.
We're being summoned! Good God! What am I supposed to do? Run off?
Ignore them. Nobles are like children who whine when they don't get a second helping of dessert.
Oh dear.
What's the Sun King like?
The most important thing is what he isn't like. His father. I think you'll find him to be a reasonable man.
Well, if he's anything better than the Madman, I think that's a very good start, isn't it? Let's face it.
Aloy of the Nora. She who sees the unseen. Welcome. It would seem you have done me a great service. Erend, tell her what you found.
I checked Ursa's tomb. You were right, Aloy. The body is missing a scar below her right knee. I gave it to Ursa when we were kids, fighting over a toy sword.
If the body is not Ursa's, then we must assume she is still alive. And I will not abandon her.
We only know she was taken, not who took her.
I can help with that.
Oh?
Ursa has an enemy among the Oseram. A warlord named Dervahl.
Impossible.
Okay.
Every clan in the claim has been hunting for him since the liberation. He has to be dead by now.
No other Oseram had the motive and ingenuity to lure Ursa into this trap. I expect to find him lurking somewhere near the border. I've already sent an agent to investigate. He'll
Okay.
be waiting for word from us at the marketplace in Pitchcliff.
I can't move troops to the border without provoking the Oseram. But I could send a few vanguardsmen. And perhaps an exceptionally gifted Nora as well.
Is he trying to hit on her?
Erend, Marad, let me discuss it with her privately. I hate to impose further after all you've done, but this is a matter of great importance to me.
Oh, they're all good questions. Well, I suppose we should... First things first.
It sounds like Ursa means a lot to you.
Without her Oseram vanguard, I would not have been able to liberate Meridian. and end my father's brutal reign. Since then, it has been difficult to maintain peace between our tribes. But Ursa has a way of making her people see reason.
Okay.
So you see, I need her back at my side. And quickly.
She's a good commander then, I take it.
Who is Dervahl exactly?
To understand Dervahl, you must first understand my father. He truly thought of himself as a sun god. His mind was broken. He believed that blood sacrifice would solve, well, everything. So he raided the other tribes for victims, especially the Oseram.
So he picked on them essentially.
Dervahl fought back. He crafted powerful weapons and rallied his people. My father responded with the ultimate cruelty.
Massacre, slavery.
He captured Dervahl's wife and daughter and sacrificed them in the Sun Ring.
Okay. I can see how that would be grounds for severe hatred.
So, why would Dervahl go to so much trouble to kidnap Ursa?
He felt she betrayed him. She fought by his side until she realized he planned to raise Meridian and butcher its people. Then she came to me. Together, we stopped him and liberated the city from my father. Dervahl has spent every moment since trying to get revenge. Mostly on the other Oseram who fought with us. He made so many powerful enemies, I thought we'd seen the last of him. I was wrong.
Well, those enemies, especially around us, have a way of sneaking up on us in time if we leave them to, you know, recuperate, regather their strength, you know, gather numbers again.
I'd like to ask you something about the Sundom and its politics.
By all means.
No, he's very open to it. That's cool. See, he's very open about that. Let's not delve in the deep end so quickly.
They call you a sun god who killed his own father in order to unite the tribes in harmony. Is any of it true?
They say you can see the invisible, split an arrow at 50 paces, and tame machines at a glance. How much of that is true?
It's not too far off.
Well, I would like to unite the tribes in harmony, but you saw how many courtiers I have to deal with first. Maybe next week.
Oh dear, what you mean that lot? Dude, they're gonna be kicking up enough squabble to last you a month. Never mind next week. It's like, I can't, it's like 3 go, but it's like, these 3 have exhausted me. I don't have the energy. I've argued too much. I'll deal with them tomorrow. 2 months later? Oh, there's more? Oh, God. Oh, dear. You can just imagine so that being the case. It's like the stress the leaders out so much. They're like, I can't deal with that many now. Bring it, postpone it till later. I'll deal with it later. Then 3 weeks out of track. There's a 10-mile long line of people wanting favors. Oh dear.
Quite a place you've got here. You can almost see the little people below the mesa.
You don't approve? Well, I have a secret for you. Neither do I.
Ah.
But we must be patient. Change won't come in a single sunrise.
But will it happen at all, while men live in palaces?
It might. Eventually. If people like you help me bring it about.
Your politics seem very complicated. The Oseram are friends, but enemies too?
I couldn't have liberated Meridian without the help of Ursa and her Oseram freebooters. Many of them have settled here.
I'm not surprised.
But the Ealdormen of the Oseram clans in the Claim have become jealous of their success. So have many Karja nobles.
Oh.
It's a volatile situation. especially given the fact that my father raided the Oseram for years. Ursa helps keep the peace, promising a future based on mutual gain. But some, like Dervahl, will never let go of their venom.
You know what? It's really, this kind of reminds me of old British history. I mean, this is the time when they had the Saxons, the Anglos, and all that. You know, when they, you know, had the, they each had, well, I can't exactly remember what the exact term was called, but for lack of a better word, tribe, right, or their own kingdoms, right. So each shire was a kingdom belonging to a lord, or basically a lord and his nobles, and they all serviced the king of England, or queen, or whichever way. But anyway, and you know, if one person wanted to take the throne, so to speak, by force, they'd gather allies even from inside another kingdom, and then there'd be this person who was the military leader from that, you know, you know what I mean. It's just one of those things where it reminds you a lot of that old history with, you know, where there's so many frenemies, enemies, friends, you know, back and forth, you know. It just reminds you a lot of, you know, interchanging of, you know, who was, you know, of all the internal internal fighting, with you know, changing of all the lordships and nobles and all that sort of thing, and the local kings, within their respected smaller kingdoms and everything within each section of England. I mean, we're talking back. Oh God, I get I'm probably get this part. I'm probably gonna get the timeline wrong, but I'm guessing memory serves me correctly that somewhere between the 11th to 13th century England, I want to say. I'm sure someone will probably correct me, but you get my point. I mean, it's just, it reminds me very reminiscent of that style of how people came to rule, and how they used to make alliances, and those allies became enemies, and then enemies became frenemies, and all that sort of complicated politics and militarized reinforcements, all that kind of thing. It just reminds me of that sort of history. It's really interesting.
What can you tell me about the Shadow Carja? What do they have to do with Ursa?
They are remnants of my father's regime, holding out at the fortress of Sunfall to the west. Like him, they care only for domination, and seek to draw upon the power of the sun by spilling blood in its name. Since Ursa helped me take this city from them, they were perfect scapegoats. Dervahl knew this, of course, and planned it well.
Right, so the people at Sunfall there, or at least the people living in that castle, are basically complete enemies. They're from the old regime. Right.
I need to get going.
I know. Well, they say kings should never beg. But please, help me find Ursa.
Who says that?
Well, Murad, for one. Don't hesitate to ask him or Erend if you have further questions.
Cool. Well. Banning. We are Carja. In us is the blood of those led by Araman from persecution and pursuit so long ago. Out to the far savage east we came, guardians of a treasure greater than the land or metal, the leaves of the old ones. Araman found the leaves in a ruin, picked out by a beam of sunlight, and he recognized at once of their importance. Within was etched the first teachings of how to observe the sun, to recognize his guidance, and to understand the place of man. From out of the leaves came the first glyphs, the first writing, so our knowledge could last longer than voices. Very much reminiscent almost of cave paintings and the first bits of writing. Wow. But when our forefathers offered to share this gift, they were driven out by by those they had once called tribesfolk. These ones feared to have the light of knowledge brought to bear on their ignorance, or were jealous of its power. And so began the long wandering of our people, trusting only that the sun would guide them and deliver them from the barbarian tribes. The path was hard, and marked by the stones of families who fell along the wayside, even Araman's own. The persecution was unceasing, and from those without purpose, only the desire to debase and destroy. But the faith of the Carja was rewarded with a distant vision, a tower like a gold ray of the sun, a tower like a solid ray of the sun, holding on to the horizon, flashing. Even as the enemies descended upon them, Araman followed the flight of the Glinthawks, leading his people through looming canyons and teeming jungles. Again they saw the tower, so close now it seemed to reach to the very sun itself, and they saw the Glinthawks perched upon it. Beheld in the light of the sun, the tower, the spire, cast its long shadow upon a mesa across the verdant valley. Araman knew he had found a haven for the tribe, as this was a place shunned by those without his faith, who cowered from the magnificence of the spire or the shining feathers of the Glinthawks. He named this place Meridian, from a passage in the leaves, and the tribe settled in the protection of the great mesa. They found the site was blessed in every respect, carving their cliff houses from the boundless resources, and in time from the red rock of the mesa itself, mesa itself, crowning it with the first columns of the city of the sun. Truly the sun gave much to the descendants of our forefathers, granting Meridian great harvests and prosperity, and the bounds of the sun for as far as its light touched. In time, sea Meridian shielded us from the dark arrows and plots of our foes. Other foreigners brought trade and tribute. Holy Meridian, without spire and sun, there would be no Meridian, but now and forevermore it stands as a monument to both. And the glory of Araman and the founders is reflected anew in each Sun King of the Radiant Line, and the noble houses of the Sun Court. Excuse me. That's an interesting bit of history there. Very interesting. Huh. Okay. Let's have a chat to Marad first, shall we? Oh, whoop! Before we do that, we've got got another one. Sun Kings. The Sun King. The founder Araman, who guided our forefathers from the shadows of the savage east into the fastness of the Mesa Valley, and who, reading the signs of the sun and shadow both, delivered them to the sight of Holy Meridian. The bounteous Amavat, who oversaw the clearing and sowing of the royal maize lands, so that no one who walked in the sun's favor should go hungry again, who cut back the jewel to claim the rich estate lands for the first houses of the Sun Court. The far-reaching Sadahin, I'm gonna call it Sadahin, who expanded the sun's dominion to the north, south, east, setting a gate at Bright Market Harbour, and who before the sun at its highest proclaimed these lands would be known as Carja Sundom. So by the light it was good. Generous Juaden, who stocked the metal markets with spoils of his own trampler hunts, and who allowed trade from the north and south, even permitting outlanders the gift of the counting glyphs, so they might understand more than simple barter. Zavarad, the Pilgrim Sun King, whose tower was raised to the top of the Ridge of Vales and who crossed the great waters of the daybreak, so the Sundom might extend even further. And to honor this passage had the great blazing arch raised on the far shores. Bold Arif, who saw the suns passing into the west as a challenge, and forced after it with a great army, to push back 3 times at the great canyon lands that would be known as the Daunt, until on the 4th time his cohort broke through and were vanished in the lands beyond. Okay. Prudent Basadid? Sorry if I'm pronouncing these names wrong. I'm trying. Who had the mantle of his fallen brother thrust upon him suddenly, who ordered the construction of the fortress of Sunfort, the garrison at Blazing Arch, declaring the land beyond the Forbidden West, where only the sun may go. Ooh. Okay. That's interesting. So, because the next game is called Horizon Forbidden West or Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West, whichever way around. But so this is interesting. This is kind of like telling us what we're probably going to expect. So, Arif, who was a Sun King, he actually took an army literally to the west. The 4th attempt, his cohort broke through, but they vanished in what is now was declared the Forbidden West. Interesting. Okay, so there's a Sun King that's taken an army into the Forbidden West and was never seen from again. Okay. Right. Huh. It's just interesting because it almost gives you a bit of an idea of what maybe to expect in the next game. That's really interesting. Oh boy. Kuvadin? I'm gonna say Kuvadin, the Returner, who strove to bring civilization to the savage east, had returned after many strenuous endeavors, saying it was no longer fit for people of the sun, and called for the building of great towers and walls so this wild land might be observed safely. Renan, the Firebird, who saw the Sundom suffer unprovoked attack by the Tenak horde, and who against the protests of his advisors accompanied his army to confront them. Under the sun he claimed victory, though he was so greatly scarred he swore his blazing helmet from that he wore his blazing helmet from that day. Okay, didn't want to carry the shame. Fair enough. Nahasis, who was a hunter as much as a Sun King, and called for the proudest men of the noble houses to prove themselves in competition beneath the sun, and that those who felled the greatest machines would be situated as the first Sun Hawk and the Hawks of the Hunter's Lodge. Okay, so Nahasis was actually who founded the Hunter's Lodge. I'm just interpreting that by what I'm reading with this. So, yeah. The illuminated Mazid, who the sun visited with visions so vivid and grand, he commissioned many statues and frescoes. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Fresco. I'm just gonna call frescoes. Frescoes. I think that's how you pronounce it. Of his visage in Meridian, and for his summer and for his summer palace and sunfall, had the great citadel raised, where he remained painting until he took deathly ill from his own pigments. Oh jeez, that's not good. Hevus, elder brother of Mazid, who decreed each family with a suitable male child should submit the child in service of the Sundom then depleted ranks, and then had the artisans turn their attention from works of art to outfitting each soldier of the sun with the very finest armor, halberd and bow. Okay. Jiran, who in his early years was a strong Sun King, defending the Sundom from the encroachment of other tribes and the derangement of the machines, but who became greatly addled and ordered the spilling of much blood in the sun's name, threatening to bring a twilight time upon us. Avad the Liberator. That was actually really interesting. Enjoying read that history. So where are those two? We've got. Oh, it's because it's nighttime in this game. I literally mistook Aaron for the god there.
So, I thought Ursa was dead, and I thought Dervahl was dead. Dead doesn't seem to mean what it used to. Or maybe I'm just an ass. Whatever. All I know is that it's time to find my sister and get some payback. I hope Murad's guy grabs us a lead.
You and me both.
Did Ursa ever tell you anything about Dervahl?
Well, we were both under his command for a while. Sort of. Helped him recruit an army to take out the mad Sun King. But then he got real creepy with Ursa. Needless to say, she wasn't interested, but he wouldn't let it go.
Oh boy.
Not to mention the fact that we realized he wanted to murder every Karja, not just the bad ones. Long story short, he's a grazer-licking dungbag.
That's the polite way of saying it. Yes, very much so.
Avad seems committed to finding your sister.
Yeah, those two got along. And some people say they shacked up, but I don't buy it. Seems a little skinny for her. Oh, okay, some bad images are forming in my head. Let's just focus on finding her. And kicking Dervahl's ass.
Ah, dear.
I'd better go.
Don't stand me up in Pitchcliff, okay? Ursa needs us.
Well, just talk to Murad and then we'll be heading right over there to join you. Alright, Blameless. Murad, what are you going to tell us?
Aloy, how can I be of service?
It's obvious that you're an advisor to the Sun King, but what is it you do exactly?
Whatever is needed, of course.
Are you always so evasive?
It depends.
Okay. You know what? let's be blunt with him, shall we? I mean, his nickname, let's, you know.
Sounds to me like you're a spy.
There are many helpful voices in the Sundom and beyond. I like to think of myself as a good listener.
Okay. Right. So,
So why do they call you Blameless Murad?
Well, it depends on who you mean by they.
Oh, yes.
And what they might wish to blame me for.
Talking to you is tiring.
Oh, jeez.
So they say.
Sorry. He literally sounds exactly like a bloody politician. It's like, no, I'm going to weave my way around this question, give this vague answer in this direction. Not really supposed... It's not actually answering it, but it gives some vague description of what an answer might be. I'm not going to name names, but it could be this, might be that, could be this direction, could be that. Like, make up your bloody mind. Oh, for God's sake. We're not going to get these straight answers from him, are we? Oh, boy.
You were right about Avad. He seems genuine.
He is the Sun King. I serve him the best I can. What else would you have me say?
Huh. Did you serve the last one as best you could, too?
Well, I served him to his enemies. It was the best I could do for the Sundom.
What did you do?
Nothing I could be blamed for.
Oh, really? Okay.
What makes you so sure Dervahl did this to Ursa?
I don't care for sure or certain. I prefer likely or probable. How many Oseram are clever enough for this ruse? capable of building the weapon you described, who hate Ursa so. More than one? Not likely. Dervahl? Quite probably.
Even if people think he's dead.
That is surely another reason to be suspicious of certain words.
He's literally taking the entire concept of politics and literally almost interpreting it for us the way we all do. It's like they say, I am certain this will happen, or I promise. What it's actually supposed to be said is, this could, might likely, possibly not. We're capable. That's literally the translation of everything, of every promised or certain worded political speech. This is what they don't tell you, because why would they?
What will I find at the border?
An outpost full of Oseram, nothing to do with Dervahl. Still, he inspires great loyalty in those who fought with him against the last Sun King. He will not be caught alone. And don't forget, he is a master craftsman. Nothing delights him more than his dangerous toys.
I'll keep that in mind.
I have to go.
Then you must.
Got some good information out of him, actually. Okay, where oh, whoa, okay, we are really going far out there, aren't we? Oh, right. It's kind of, I find it funny that Murad is the only character I've ever seen that's actually, like, only interactable NPC in the game I've ever played that's been a political advisor, that's been an advisor that actually talks like a politician should talk when talking to people, when trying to explain stuff to people. Everyone else has always been, like, they've been labeled a politician, but they don't actually, they don't talk like a politician. You know, they just very kind sounding, that they don't act or sound at all political or speak political. He did. It's actually refreshing. As much as it's hilarious to hear the way he speaks.
This must be Pitchcliff. Murad's agent should be at the marketplace by now.
Alright, so good. Well, but,
like this rests a body's joints.
wait. Oh, right. Okay, we're going through here.
No sign of Murad's guy. He's had plenty of time to investigate.
We'd better look for him.
Damn right.
Okay.
And most carja won't even look at it.
What the?
Well, someone left here recently, and they were in a hurry.
Huh. Okay.
Can't get away.
Follow me, Aaron's. Let's go. Yeah. Oh boy. That's not good.
Has to be Murad's guy. Dervahl's thugs must have made him.
Maybe because he found something. Look at this. I think
A
he
map.
drew a map with his own blood.
Right. Those kind of maps, you know you'd better follow.
Oh,
That might be Pitchcliff. He marked a spot to the north.
pretty obvious,
Could
but
be
yes,
Dervahl's
Aaron.
location.
My men are waiting outside of town. I'll grab them and meet you there.
I love how Aaron points out the blatantly obvious at times. It's like, it's like, I think I'm supposed to do a comedy program, so they do say, aha, so, he wrote there with his dying breath, You think there could be a connection? Duh! Sorry, that was kind of a half a Red Dwarf quote, by the way. If anyone's watched Red Dwarf, you know exactly what I'm talking about there. So yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. No, let's not get seen by that bird. I think that's a storm bird behind up above us, but I could be wrong. I don't really want to find out, to be honest. Get up here. Quite secluded, well, you might say.
Machines. Looks like they've been chained up.
Dervahl's a tinker. He probably experiments on them, or strips them for parts.
Maybe I can use them to make some trouble. I'll go in first. Hold off until the fighting starts.
All right, we've got your back.
Cool. Come here. Oh, you want a twit? Fine. What? No. Okay, that whistling. Oh, screw this.
Intruders! Unleash the machines! Shoot their chains!
Right. Hold on, we're coming.
Get around your target.
I can kill you right here.
Yeah, good luck with that. Well, that's point blank, that'll do, I suppose. There we go.
Taking cover.
Damn it! I've got stuff we can.
Pick them up, one by one.
Here it comes. Last thing you'll ever see.
Oh, that's not what I meant to do.
It's gonna rain death.
Should be able to get. No. To the multiple sum.
Don't stop.
No goodies.
Where'd you go, Chop?
Play what I can. On the way.
Nowhere to run.
Okay.
Too fast.
Let's find her.
That'll do. Well, I didn't quite go as planned. That did. Somewhat. And it's got plenty of lens as it is. I'm not. Oh, great.
Derval says you gotta eat dirt.
Charming. So a sound device, eh? Okay.
Spotted.
That's right.
Oh, he packs a punch. Hold on. Oh, I got just the perfect plan for him. Where's that weapon? Got an idea. Come here, where are you?
Ursa must be in there. We have to get through.
Aha, take the earplugs. Nice.
They must use these to protect themselves from that awful sound.
Sensible. Any...
Ursa!
Whoa! Yeah, give it a good smack. That's the way. You alright, Ursa?
Aaron? Durval tried to break me. Shows what he knows.
I should have been with you. Why didn't you come for me? I know I'm a useless trunk, but...
No, idiot. I got a message from Durval saying he wanted to parlay.
Ah, okay.
I didn't come for you because I knew it was a trap. I couldn't let you get hurt. Just didn't think it'd be that good a trap. Thought I could take him out.
I understand their thinking.
Now listen. Durval's planning something big in Meridian. He said he'd force Avad to watch as the smoke darkens their precious sun.
Whoa.
Your king needs you. No more playing around. You're gonna have to grow up fast.
I will. I promise.
You damn well better, little brother.
Oh, no way.
Ursa. No, no.
Oh,
Please.
Well, at least you have to say goodbye in his own way. That's
I
not
won't let
cut.
you down. I promise.
That's not cut him deep. That is, especially once they're getting revenge.
Aaron, I'm so sorry.
We've got to find Durval. But Meridian's a big place.
I'll look through his things. Maybe we can narrow it down.
Alright. There was a... oh. Oh! Okay. Oh, is this fire? Oh god, okay. Get rid of that one, so we can take the fire. Alright, I'll tell you what. This is as good a place to end it. So yeah, next time I'll be investigating Durval's workshop and what the hell he's planning and all these little secrets. See you next time.